Long ago, when kings spoke with gods and destiny walked openly among men, there stood the ancient kingdom of Oyo, a land of carved wooden gates, towering Iroko trees, and palace walls that shimmered like gold at sunset. In the heart of this kingdom lived Princess Adiola, wrapped in deep indigo adire, her neck heavy with coral beads that glowed like embers. Her beaded feeler crown sat perfectly upon her head, yet beneath her grace beat a restless heart. To the people, she was royalty. To herself, she was a bird longing for the sky beyond the palace. Beyond those palace walls, in a humble village of red earth and thatched roofs, lived Kúnlè, a blacksmith, poet, and keeper of ancient Yoruba proverbs. His hands were scarred from fire and iron, yet his spirit was gentle. Once, his family had been branded traitors to the crown. Though innocent, their name was never cleared, and so Kunlay walked the world as an outcast. Every dawn, he knelt before a small shrine to Osun, offering honey, kola nuts, and prayers, believing that truth, like water, always finds its way. One evening, the kingdom prepared for the sacred festival of Osun. Drums thundered across the land like the heartbeat of the earth. Women dressed in yellow and gold danced along the sacred river, carrying baskets of fruit, flowers, and shining brass bowls. Fire torches flickered against the night, turning the water into liquid light. Drawn by the rhythm, Princess Adiola slipped away from the palace, veiled in simple cloth so no one would recognize her. Barefoot on cool earth, she followed the music to the river. There, beneath a great Iroko tree, she saw Kúnlè kneeling in prayer. His voice flowed like poetry, speaking to Osun in words older than any crown. When he looked up, their eyes met, and in that instant, destiny shifted. They spoke until the moon climbed high. Adeola learned that Kúnlè was not the traitor the kingdom believed him to be, but a man shaped by injustice. Kúnlè, in turn, saw not just a princess, but a woman with dreams, doubts, and a fierce heart. But their love was forbidden. Back in the palace, King Alafin had already promised his daughter to Prince Tunde of Ife, a marriage meant to unite two powerful kingdoms. Refusing would mean defying tradition, family, and the gods themselves. Watching from the shadows was Chief Belugan, the king's trusted advisor, wrapped in an ornate agbada and heavy beads. He smiled in public, but in secret, fear coiled in his chest for years ago. He had framed Kúnlè's family to protect his own power. If Adeola uncovered the truth, his world would collapse. As days passed, whispers traveled through the marketplace like smoke carried by griots, traders, and the talking drums. Some said the princess had been touched by Osun. Others warned that love born in defiance would bring misfortune. In secret, Adeola and Kunlay met beneath the Iroko tree again. Fireflies circled them like gentle spirits. She placed a single coral bead in his palm, a silent promise that no law could break. Then came the storm. Thunder cracked above the palace as King Alafin summoned his daughter to the throne room. Chiefs sat in tense silence, their faces carved from stone. Before her lay a golden crown heavy with history, expectation, and sacrifice. "Choose," the king commanded, "your duty or your desire." At the same moment, Kúnlè stood alone by the sacred river of Osun, the coral bead trembling in his hand. The water glowed, as if the goddess herself were watching. Princess Adiola stepped to the edge of the palace. The world split before her glittering power behind, shimmering destiny ahead. In one hand, she held the crown of her ancestors. In the other, the bead of her beloved. The wind roared, the river sang, and somewhere in the storm, Osun whispered. For in Yoruba land, love is powerful, but destiny is relentless. And with a single breath, the princess took one step forward, a step that would either save her heart or shatter a kingdom.